So in this video, we'll introduce the Dragon dictation software, as well as how to customize the buttons, create auto text, and create commands. The first button is the transcribe button, and so when you transcribe text outside of a window, Dragon will create an auto text window just like this. And so what you can do is you can take that text and automatically paste it by pressing your transcribe button, just like that. So for example, if you're in Chrome or a web browser, you can dictate your admission through the text window. The next button is the tab forward button. So the tab forward button allows you, if you have it set up locations, you can tab forward and backwards to each location. The tab backwards button is over there. The next button is the dictate button. So when you press the dictate button, by default, it will turn the microphone on as long as you have the button pressed down. You can also change it so that when you press it, the microphone will turn on, and then when you press it again, the microphone will turn off. And that's available in the customized menu. The next button is the forward button. So this will go to the next field. And then the next button is the previous button, so this will go back a field. The button below that accepts defaults, so if you're in a menu, you can hit the stop play button and it will accept the default. And then we have custom ones. And so the customized the customized buttons allow you to put any sort of keystroke into the button. And so for example, insert MDM restraints. I have my right custom button set up so that when I press it, it goes to the next underlined spot. And so in Cerner, that allows me to bounce through places I need to fill in. So for here, we have a MDM phrase, or medical decision-making phrase about restraints. And so when I press the custom button, it jumps to the next underline. Physical, behavior, and interfering with staff. So it allows me to quickly jump between different underlines. There's also a left-sided custom button, and then next to that is the enter select button, which works as a way to hide the Dragon window. And then we have what I call the kidney buttons. So you have a right kidney button and a left kidney button. The left kidney button works as a left mouse click, so you can click it and move things around. The right kidney button works as a right mouse click. Now, let's get into customizing the Dragon software. So if you press on here in the Dragon bar, you can see there's multiple different selections. So the first one is options. So under options, you can change a few things. The one thing that I did add is anchoring the speech focus. And so if you click this, it allows you to start dictation in your reevaluation section, and then you can scroll or move the note to other areas. So for example, if I'm writing my reevaluation note, I can scroll up to the history and make sure I can read as I'm talking, and it will continue to dictate down in the reevaluation note. Visual feedback, so this is when I have a command or auto text, it will tell me that it recognized that auto text. There's a few options for the dictation box, as well as the hotkeys, which allow you to change the hotkeys. The most important part of this, though, is the microphone buttons. And so you can't customize every button. However, you can customize some of the buttons. So for example, I have changed the right custom button to be a hotkey for F3. And as I showed you, that allows me to page through each underlined spot. Next thing we can do is we can manage our auto text. And so auto text is just like dot phrases, but it's all done verbally. And so for example, here's all my discharge instructions. I also have examinations. And so for example, my knee exam is a relatively tedious thing to type, and so I have a auto text for that. The way you create these is you hit this plus button here. You'll give it a name. So for example, discharge asthma. And then from my Word document, I would paste my text here. For example, let me show you what this looks like. insert discharge asthma, and it automatically imports my phrase. When I want to do something more complex, I can go insert knee exam, and then I can use my custom button to page to that patella, no, able, and then my entire knee exam is done. So that's how you can use auto text. The step-by-step commands is a way to create different commands where you can implement not only text but also pressing buttons. And so for example, I have a timestamp command, so let me show you what that looks like. So when I use it, timestamp, it inserts text, presses enter, and then now I have a timestamp. And so the reason I do that is because there's no way to create a timestamp in Dragon. And so I've created a timestamp in Cerner, so when I use keys, if I press .now and hit enter, it comes up. And so what I created was a command where Dragon will, when I say timestamp, will enter the text NOW, it will wait 40 milliseconds, and then it will press the hotkey. After that, it leaves a space so that I'm ready to dictate. So that's one way of using commands. The last part to customize your Dragon is the vocabulary. So if you go to vocabulary, you can manage anything where if you say it oddly or you find that Dragon is mispronouncing or misspelling certain things, you can put it here. So for example, Dr. Shikui is in here because when I used to use his name, it would not come out quite right. So for example, you can put other attendings' names or procedures, and then hit customize. Pormond. It'll confirm. And then when you say it, Dr. Shikui, Dr. Pormond, and now it will automatically understand your vocabulary.